Okay, injury front. Jadeveon Clowney's has an ankle injury. He'll be out this week due to that injury. Chase Winovich has a hamstring injury. He'll be out. And then Jesse James has a bicep injury. He will be out. Uh, you know, Obviously that's a tough one, tough pill to swallow yesterday with that game. The frustration is very, very real when you have a game that you feel like you can close out and we didn't. So that's the frustration and that's the disappointment. Having said that, we got a game Thursday night. We got a game in our building versus a division opponent. So we got to very, very quickly turn the page, make corrections, and move on because on these short weeks, you just can't let the previous game linger. You really do have to move on. So that's what we'll do. We'll meet with the team this afternoon. We'll have a walkthrough this afternoon, and then we are full bore on to Pittsburgh. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much, Coach. The first one will be from Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Kevin, let's can we start with the Nick Chubb situation where he should have gone, out or whatever instead of scoring the last touchdown. I mean, can you kind of elaborate? I know what you said after the game, but should you have told him and told the huddle, do not score there?
Yeah, obviously, retrospect, Mary Kay, you want to do anything that can secure the win. So that is something that's my responsibility to communicate to that huddle. Putting yourself up potentially 14 points inside of 2 minutes, you should close out that game. So yes, I wish I had said that to Nick and Nick would have done it. But it doesn't change the fact that we had plenty of opportunities to win that game.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Next up is Jake Trotter.
Yeah, Kevin, after watching film, do you have any more detail on what happened on the 66-yard touchdown, which ignited their rally?
Yeah, as you can imagine, Jake, obviously looked at it, talked with the coaches about it. We'll talk to the players about it. I'm not going to get into the responsibilities and those type of things because I don't see that as productive. Bottom line is that should never happen. We have to be able to defend the pass in those obvious passing situations. And we just got to everybody be on the same page. And it's frustrating that we weren't in that case. And I know it happened previous in week one as well. So those are the type of things we have to get fixed immediately because that's just when you're in a game like that, everybody knows what they're about to do. It was not a surprise to anybody. So that's the only way we could have let them back in that game. So again, it just goes back to have to correct the correctables.
Kevin, this is a small sample size. Through 2 games, Miles is number 1 in the NFL in the second and third quarters in pass rush win rate. I know that's one of many metrics to evaluate that. In the fourth quarter, he is way down compared to those quarters, even though he's still, among the leaders in the NFL. Do you see him getting worn down at all late in games? Or have you seen no drop off and that's just a statistical anomaly through 2 games?
Yeah, I would probably say it's small sample size, Jake. He's playing at a high level. We're going to continue to need him to play at a high level.
Thank you, Jake. Kim, Justice, you're up.
Hey, Kevin, you guys said that you don't practice mistakes. You obviously want to learn from them, but you're not going to go out there and necessarily practice them. When those breakdowns do happen, though, in communication on the defense in games like yesterday, and you have those blown coverages, how do you go about preparing that for the next week, making sure you're able to prevent them in a game setting, but also addressing them in a practice setting?
Yeah, Cam. So what we have done is, you practice substitutions in practice. There are ways to not let the defense or offense know which group is going in next. So you make them lock in on those type of things. We practice in the crowd noise defensively, knowing that we're going to have to be using signals. So you do practice those type of things, and that's really your operation. And those are the type of things that you got to continue to be really, really sharp because it does present challenges to the defense when you're at home. And our crowd was great yesterday, and that's what we expect. So you got to be able to communicate in the crowd noise, just like when the offense goes on the road to be able to communicate.
And when you're doing that with players, is there also an emphasis on communication with the coaching staff on the sidelines of getting those plays out there to them on the field?
Definitely. And that's, we talk a lot about operation. It's really the communication from the booth, from the coach's booth down to the sideline, from the sideline to the huddle. The communication is vital on the sideline in between series. I mean, all of that is so important to your operation.
Thanks, Cam. Let's go to Matt Fontana.
Yeah, Kevin, you just mentioned it's not very constructive to go through the responsibilities. It is all frustrating when people are firing off who to blame or it's this or that when they don't even know the play call.
Yeah, I would just tell you, Matt, respectfully, we deal with what we can control, and that's really in this building. So.
And then your entire coaching career, was that the most frustrating loss you've been a part of?
Yeah, I mean, they all sting. It's not fun, you know. So we're, you know, it's a challenge in this in this business. You know where you stand. It's the beauty of this business. It's very black and white. It's win and loss, but they're hard. They're hard. They hurt, and I think it's just so important because of that. You got to real fast turn the page. Doesn't mean you don't own it. Doesn't mean you don't make corrections, but you better turn the page.
Thank you, Matt. Daryl Ryder, you're up.
Yeah, Kevin, after the Carolina game, we heard we'll make the corrections, get it fixed, and that'll be that. And then, so I guess just how frustrating is that you had a repeat of what happened in week one, and this time it did cost you. And then the second part of that, what is the fix for the communication breakdown?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Daryl, it is frustrating. I mean, I don't think anybody who watches that game doesn't understand the frustration. Having said that, we have to be problem solvers. We have to find solutions, and any which way. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but we got to find solutions so that when we're in position like we were yesterday, and it's an obvious passing situation, we can't let that happen.
And without getting into any specific public blaming of any particular player, from your perspective, or you know, Joe Woods is the defensive coordinator. Could you see you guys altering lineups and whatnot for repeat mistakes when it comes to communication breakdown on the field?
Well, I mean, with anything, offense, defense, special teams, of course, you're always looking for the right lineup out there that gives you the best chance. But, you know, let me be very clear. Anything that happens out there, I got to get fixed. That's on me.
Thanks, Daryl. John Sable, you're up.
Coach, is it kind of a blessing in disguise seeing how you have a game in just a few days? It's a short week, so it isn't something that is just hanging over your head as opposed to having a game on Sunday or even maybe on Monday. And then a second follow-up to that is, how confident are you in a short amount of time that these errors can be fixed?
Well, John, yes, I do think it's good that we have a game Thursday. You know, I think back to 2020, had a very tough loss in that first game, and then right back at it at home versus a division opponent. So I do think it's beneficial to just get out on the field today, get out on the field tomorrow, and then obviously get under the lights Thursday night. And then, like we mentioned earlier, anything that we need to fix, you got to fix. We don't have time to wait.
Thanks, John. Let's go to Ashley Bastock.
Hey, Kevin, going to the special teams aspect of things from yesterday, I guess the fake punt opportunity that they got through, the missed opportunity to recover that kick. Just what have your conversations been like with Mike after rewatching that and things like that, cleaning that stuff up? Yeah,
I mean, like we talked about, I think last night, Ashley, we got beat, and they did a nice job. They executed on a fake punt. They executed on an onside kick. There are things, of course, that we can do better, and we're just going to have to. We just have to find a way in those situations to make a play, find a way to get the ball out of bounds on a kick and those type of things. So it's normal football where they're going to make their fair share of plays, but we got to just continue to put our guys in position to do their job, to put them in position to do the job, and then have our players come through in those moments.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ashley. Marla Ridenour, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm not asking about this specific person exactly, but Denzel tweeted that, I was only targeted once, and, I'm just wondering, are you worried about players like pointing fingers or second guessing Joe Woods's calls, or just where things stand as far as the team, but as a whole right now?
Yeah, Marla, I haven't had obviously talked to the team after the game. Haven't had a chance to talk to the team yet today. Bringing them in shortly for meetings. So obviously those are all things you address, and what you have to do when you win as a team, and when you lose as a team. That's what makes this the greatest team sport there is. It takes all 11 on offense, defense, and special teams, and at the end of the day, you got to share in the wins and you got to share in the losses.
Thank you.
Thanks, more. Let's go to Jeff Shadell.
Hey, Kevin, you didn't mention Jacoby Brissett in your injury report. How is he? How's his ankle? And could you go over the way he played yesterday and an interception? What happened there?
Yeah, so he's not on the injury report. I thought he played well. I thought he saw it clearly. On the interception, their guy made a play. We're trying to get a chunk there and call timeout, but their guy made a play.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll take two more, Scott Petrick and Tony Grossi. Scott.
Hey, Kevin, I had a couple of quick follow-ups. So had you told Jacoby to have the running backs not score before that happened?
That's what we've done in the past, yes.
I mean, but yesterday, did you tell him before that snap or anything in the headset?
No, I did not. So I do want to be clear on this one. I absolutely could have told him that in that situation.
Okay. And then on the 66-yarder, were you comfortable with the play call? I'm not saying, who should have been there, but you liked the call that was out there?
Yes.
Okay. And then, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Last one, Tony Grossi.
Thanks, Kevin. One on offense, one on defense. I know it's painful. That defensive, that long pass play. At this point, I've seen coordinators just put a safety 20 yards deep to avoid that situation. Isn't that a logical temporary solution to get until these communications are settled?
Yeah, I think there are definitely solutions, Tony, to that problem. And we've talked about it as a staff. We'll put our guys in position to not let that happen again.
On the last, the interception, it looked like it was deeper than get me to the 40. The pass was intercepted at the 35. Too deep?
No, I don't think so. That it was into the dog pound. So wanted to. I don't think it's safe to just always get to the 40 with your kicker. I think we're trying to get as close as we can to that to kick a shorter field goal.